morning and welcome to the Pitt County Board of Commissioners meeting. I will call our meeting to order. Let's have roll call. Thank you. If you would rise with me for the invocation. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you've given us. Thank you for your love, your mercy, your grace. Lord, we just ask for your guidance, Lord, and direction as we make decisions, Lord, that are in the best interest of our citizens. And we give you the praise and the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please place the flag. The Pledge of Allegiance.
To the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's sit down.
Thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Please vote. Madam Manager, we have any public addresses to the board?
We have no one signed up to speak.
All right, we'll move on to presentations.
If we could go down front for Employee of the Month recognition and a proclamation, and if Donata Moore would please come forward. Put you right on that black spot right there. Mr. Chairman and those watching, it is my humble pleasure to recognize the June 2026 Employee of the Month, Donata Moore from Social Services. Donata is recognized for her outstanding commitment to Department of Social Services, where she serves as a mentor, supports team success, and consistently goes above and beyond to help ensure a safe, supportive, and positive environment. Her nominator said, Donata leads by example by upholding county values and ethical standards while demonstrating honesty, integrity, and transparency in all aspects of her work. Her professionalism, reliability, and genuine care for both her coworkers and the families we serve make her truly deserving of this recognition. And so this evening, Donata, we're pleased to present to you a certificate of recognition that says Employee of the Month, June 2026, presented to Donata Moore, Social Services, in recognition of your dedication and exemplary service to Pitt County government and the citizens we serve. Mr. Chairman, we'll present this to you, and there's already $100 in your bank account.
Okay, thank you.
On behalf of the Board of Commissioners, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we smile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Do you have any family or anyone else with you that would want to come up for the picture?
My husband, he doesn't want to come.
All righty then.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, and then, Mr. Chairman, if you'll allow, I'd like to read a proclamation this evening recognizing the Greenville Industrial Charles M. Epps National Alumni Association 46th Annual School Reunion Weekend. And this proclamation reads, whereas the Greenville Industrial CM Epps High School alumni will be celebrating their 46th anniversary, July 3rd to 5th, 2026, in honor of Charles Montgomery, that's the CM, Epps. And whereas CM Epps High School has been known by numerous names, including Greenville Industrial High School, Greenville Graded School, 5th Street or Fleming Street School, and whereas Charles Montgomery Epps began his educational career in Greenville in 1903 and served many years as principal in the Greenville City Schools. As an educator and principal, CM Epps was very instrumental in assuring that quality education was afforded to everyone. And whereas in 1932, CM Epps was appointed by Governor O. Max Gardner to serve on North Carolina's Interracial Relations Committee, which held its statewide convention in Greenville that year. And whereas because of his dedication to education and his community, CM Epps High School, CM Epps Middle School, and CM Epps Recreation Center were all named in his honor. And whereas the CM Epps Alumni Association has an active roster of members that are service-driven and focused on the betterment of our community. And whereas the CM Epps Alumni Association played an instrumental role in the West 5th streetscape design and implementation, as well as in the renovations of the Epps Recreation Center. And whereas this reunion now encompasses all the former historically black high schools in Pitt County and is therefore a representation of the entire county. H.B. Sugg in Farmville, W.H. Robinson in Winterville, Bethel Union in Bethel, South Aden in Aden, and G.R. Whitfield in Grimesland. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Pitt County Board of Commissioners that we do hereby recognize the 46th Annual CMF's High School Alumni Celebration, July 3rd to the 5th, 2026. Adopted this 15th day of June, 2026, signed by Mark C. Smith, Chairman, Pitt County Board of Commissioners, and attested by Kimberly Hines, Clerk to the Board. Mr. Chairman, it's my understanding that Melvin McLaughlin will present, and Ann Huggins will present this at the event on July 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jonas, we're ready for the public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, and good evening, members of the board and Madam Manager. Tonight, we have before you a rezoning request by John Durwood Lawrence Jr. to rezone 2.63 acres of his property located at the southwest corner of the intersection of County Home Road and Worthington Road from rural residential to general commercial. Site map here shows the site is located just to the south of Greenville and to the east of Winterville at Worthington's Crossroads. Looking at the existing land use in this area, you'll see the site outlined in black. There is primarily agricultural with a good amount of residential shown in the brown, as well as commercial activity. There's commercial at the northeast intersection, or corner of the intersection, as well as the southeast intersection, as well as two churches to the south along County Home Road. The envisioned Pitt County 2045 future land use plan designates this as a commercial crossroads. You can see shown here on the map being that it's Worthington Crossroads. We have several of these crossroads spread throughout the county, such as Stokes, Blackjack, to name a few, and then Worthington's Crossroads here. They're located around established communities. They have a history of commercial development that serves a larger surrounding area. The appropriate uses in this commercial crossroads is a mix of residential, public and institutional, and commercial uses. Looking at the existing zoning map, as I mentioned, there are several commercial operations. You have a grill/convenience store, a multi-unit commercial facility that has a church located in it, as well as some auto sales. The proposed zoning district is general commercial. This district is intended to accommodate a wide range of retail service, office, wholesale, moderate density, multifamily residential uses, and it's located on major thoroughfares that can support such development with the necessary utilities. Planning staff finds that this request is consistent with the land use plan, given that there are already non-residential uses such as commercial that we spoke about in the area. We also recommend that it's reasonable and in the public's best interest, given the fact that there are in a community crossroads that supports this type of development. The planning board held its meeting on May 20th and voted 8-0 to recommend approval of this request. At our April meeting, you mentioned breaking out the motions, so we've done that in your agenda packet. The first motion is to adopt the consistency statement stating that it is in compliance with the land use plan. Also, a motion that it's reasonable and in the public's best interest due to the existing commercial activity in the area. And finally, the third one is to approve the request to rezone it. So, Mr. Chair, if you don't have any questions, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Jonas. Matt, you want to read your statement?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With this public hearing now open, Pitt County welcomes all comments on the John Durwood Lawrence rezoning request. Please state your name and address and then the name of any organization that you may be representing. Each speaker will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak.
Okay, the public hearing is open. Is there anybody that would like to speak in favor or against this, in this public hearing? Anybody in favor or against? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'd like to have, adopt the motion of
Okay, we've got a motion. Commissioner McGlaughlin, is that a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. Yes. Somebody have a question?
Do you have a question?
Okay. Matt, are you good with the motions?
For consistency.
Okay,
For consistency, yes.
okay. Okay, that's everybody. And I think we need another motion, is that right, Matt?
Correct.
So I believe we'll need,
Yep.
as
For
stated,
the
reasonableness,
reasonableness.
and so I believe we broke out 3 motions, so
Okay.
consistency, reasonable, and then approval, whatever the board's pleasure.
All right,
Motion to approve the reasonableness statement.
okay, we got a motion and a second. Please vote. Did you say there was a third one? All right, do I hear a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Please vote. All right, thank you, Jonas.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
man, say
Yes.
one thing. I just wanted to thank staff, Jonas, you and staff, for not only being more thorough with what's in the packet, but also, with the motion practice, but also what's in the packet, having the uses for general commercial listed. I think that's really helpful for the public. These are public documents, so that it's helpful for the public to be able to see that. And I also really like that there's a statement worksheet that doesn't say you have to do something, but it does say you have to come up with something, right?
Right.
And I think that's a really helpful tool for transparency and making sure that we're doing everything by the book. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll move on to items for report. First is the monthly financial report. Michael Hardy.
Good evening to the board. Tonight I have the May report. You'll see that it's right at 92% of the year. You'll see looking down the line at general fund, we were right at 83.6% for revenues, while the expenditures are at 81.6%. You can see that the revenues are outpacing the expenditures, which is a good thing moving into year end as far as trend. Solid waste, you can see, is at 99.6% at $18.758 million, while the expenditure size is $16.135 million. So once again, you can see that 99.6% revenue exceeding that expenditure spent. And then lastly, the EMS funds, you'll see that the revenues are $11.299 million, 86.4%. The one thing you do want to take into account when looking at this report from last year, 24-25, we did have a lot of backlog collections of third-party billing. So you can see there's a little bit difference in revenues, but consistent with where it should be. Are there any questions with this report?
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Got a motion to approve. Here's a second. Okay, please vote. Thank you, Michael. We'll move
Thank you.
on to the tax collection report. Russell?
Good evening, Chairman Smith, Commissioners, Manager Gallagher. This evening, I present to you the May tax collection report. The fiscal year combined tax collection rate through May 31st for real and personal property was 99.19%. The combined rate 1 year ago for real and personal property was 99.29%. Pitt County Tax Administration continues to pursue all outstanding taxes using the necessary remedies available through the North Carolina General Statutes. I also would like to report to you tonight, and as a reminder, starting with the 2026 tax bills, which is going to come out in the next few weeks, citizens in the town of Griffin will receive one combined tax bill for both their county and city tax or town taxes. The bill will be paid to the Pitt County Tax Collector. Prior year bills will not be affected by the change and will be paid separately. I just want to do that as a reminder because as y'all may get phone calls for those residents that their bill went up, but it's because it's a combined bill this year. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If not, it's my recommendation to approve the tax collection report as presented.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Please cast your vote. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the legislative report. Matt?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've been asked to provide a report on County Advocacy Days, legislative update, and then further information on the legislative goals process for the 27-28 biennium, which I believe y'all received an email in the past week. So first is the County Advocacy Days. It was held last Tuesday and Wednesday. The event had provided a casual setting on Tuesday night where we were able to speak with multiple members of the General Assembly. And then it continued Wednesday, beginning with a policy briefing by NCACC. After that meeting, we were able to sit down with Representative Reeder, Representative Brown, and Senator Smith. We discussed not only Pitt County issues and goals, but we also discussed policy changes and funding cuts that are going to be affecting all 100 counties. So taking you briefly through that, first for the Pitt County goals, a couple of the things we emphasized with our delegation, of course, general revenue protection and unfunded mandates. I believe the thing in the General Assembly this year is amending or trying to correct some tax issues, and so there are general tax changes. We just made sure that they're aware that these tax changes could impact counties, as the majority of our revenue comes through taxes, and so emphasize that. We also made some general revenue requests, of course, the county administration building, but more importantly, some funding requests to try and fill some gaps that have been made through federal regulations. We did emphasize the county administration building. We renewed and emphasized that request. We were told that there's probably not going to be any new SCIF funding, the State Capital Infrastructure Fund, which essentially is funding for new capital projects for both state and local governments. They didn't believe there was going to be any new SCIF funding in the budget. And so we emphasized our water and sewer infrastructure request. I came to a number with the help of Jonas, Mr. Hill, the planning director, of a $5 million request. So that's what we put forth in front of our delegation. $3 million for Candlewick and $2 million for State and Mill. I spoke with Representative Ross, who is the chair of the Finance Committee, on Tuesday night, and then it seemed like Representative Reeder reinstated that, but there's a strong likelihood that there is some money in the water and sewer funding pot, and so we're hoping to get some of that for our projects. That was the Pitt County goals. We were also provided with NCACC's policy brief, and that listed some issues that NCACC is working on, and so they asked us to push that with our local delegation as well. One of those was a $52 million non-reoccurring fund for SNAP administration costs. As you're aware, the administrative cost burden is going to be more heavily placed on states, and as North Carolina is one of 9 counties where social services are delegated to the counties, that funding would fall on us. So we believe, and we spoke with Representative Reeder, he believes that that funding will come to fruition and that there will be a funding, a non-reoccurring fund for SNAP administration costs. Some other issues were some proposed bills that are being put forth. One was House Bill 1042. That's the affordable housing exemption. And that's going to clarify that bill that I've spoke with you about many a times, which is the charitable housing exemption that allows for what's supposed to be low and moderate income housing to have a full tax exemption, but there are some loopholes. Hopefully this bill will close those loopholes by either making it where only 100% of, or 100% owned nonprofits will qualify for it, or if it's a joint venture, there's several requirements that they have to satisfy. That was passed through the House very quickly, but it's being held up in the Senate at this time. So we continue to push for that, both with Senator Smith and, of course, Representative Reeder. Another bill that NCACC was concerned about is HB 369. That's a parking lot reform and stormwater. It would prohibit local governments from requiring on-street parking, and it will also prohibit local governments from requiring increased stormwater controls for redevelopment. So again, taking away some of this local government control and either giving it to the states or just eliminating altogether. Senate Bill 1047 is a big regulatory reform bill. The main 2 things out of that is Section 13 for rezonings and permits. They now can be appealed to Superior Court. So example for tonight, if this would have been denied, the public hearing would have been denied, they could have appealed it to Superior Court. Section 14 puts a deadline on processing development applications, and if they're not processed within that time, they're automatically approved. So that's not just residential and commercial, but it's also industrial, which could be a burden on the county. Some further requests from NCACC was, of course, increased salaries for teachers, as well as funding for mental health and substance abuse for jail services. Two additional legislative updates I'd like to provide. The Pitt Greenville Airport legislation, that will be in Rules Committee tomorrow, so that's a good sign for that. The other one, another bill that I just wanted to bring to the board's attention is House Bill 437. It's unauthorized public camping. It bans public camping or sleeping on public property. There are exceptions or exclusions, including like recreation, if you went camping for recreation. The big thing about this, and to bring to the board's attention, is that it would allow for private action, private lawsuit to be brought against the local government by any residents once they've notified the local government that someone is sleeping on public property. So that, just wanted to bring that to the board's attention. Lastly, and I'll be quick with this, the Legislative Goals Conference, again, sent out the email to the board. I also sent it to the staff. So what we will do is we'll compile those answers, and then I will bring it to the board like I did 2 years ago for a presentation. At that time, the board will select the goals, they'll vote on the goals, and then they'll affirm it through a resolution. Once that's done, we'll submit it to NCACC. It'll go through a couple committees, and then in November, it'll be voted on by all 100 counties. The relevance for these, I believe, is important. First, these legislative goals are consistently lobbied by all members of the, are lobbied to all members of the General Assembly by NCACC. So it's a constant action that they're doing throughout the year for the biennium of 27-28. The second thing is that these goals are also Pitt County's state goals. And so we use those every time we speak with our delegation at every event or every meeting. So they are important. They put forth kind of what the board's desire is for us to push forth for the next legislative session. Some relevant dates for those: August 14th is the deadline to submit to NCACC. I know I placed in the email July 1st, but it can be a little bit past that. We'll either take it to the board middle of July or 1st of August. And then the other date is November 19th and 20th will be the NCACC Legislative Goals Conference, where they will vote on it. So that's all I have at this time, Mr. Chair, and I would yield the floor back to you.
So Matt, just for clarification.
Yes, sir.
You said or stated that if we have a public hearing and it fails here, that can be appealed to Superior Court.
Correct. It would give the developer an option to appeal it to Superior Court. So no longer, usually legislative decisions should not be appealed, right? They are a legislative decision. They're supposed to be trusted to the board that makes that decision. Quasi-judicial hearings have always been able to be appealed, but not legislative decisions. And rezoning is a legislative decision. But again, they're changing it. Again, it seems like they're starting to erode some local control over local decisions and make it either where a court system or the state General Assembly allows them to move forward with it.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Any other questions for Matt? Okay, we'll move on to Madam Manager and the Manager's report.
Yes, brief report this evening. Your next meeting dates, July 13th and August 3rd, in this room at 6 p.m. And just to note that you only have one meeting in the month of July. June 15th, today, is National Elder Abuse Awareness Day. The Department of Social Services put together and hosted a breakfast, walk, and wear purple campaign in a global effort to raise awareness in our communities. The Department of Social Services encouraged residents and local businesses to wear purple as a visible sign of support for protecting our senior population. And as part of the observance, DSS staff hosted their annual awareness walk and breakfast at 9 a.m. this morning in front of our county administration building, and from all counts, that was a success. Also, a reminder that this Friday, June 19th, the county will be closed in observance of Juneteenth, and then again on July 3rd in observance of Independence Day. And then finally, I wanted to provide some reminders on the fire feasibility study update. The fire chiefs will meet on June 18th at 7 p.m. in Simpson Fire Department. If you're planning to attend, please either let Kimberly Hines know or Randy Gentry know so that they'll know how many to expect from the Board of Commissioners that evening. The purpose of that meeting is really just to listen to the fire chiefs, and particularly those who weren't able to come to our workshop because they were fighting a fire in the southern part of the county that evening. And then that listening session would be followed by our internal committee meeting. And you'll recall, this board agreed for Mac Manning, Rochelle Brown, Gary Weaver, and absent that evening, but joining in is Commissioner Nunley, to serve on an internal committee with fire chiefs to discuss the report and bring back recommendations to the full board on July 13th. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was to get permission or not from the Board of Commissioners. It came to my attention that FEMA is offering grants again this year, grants to firefighters. There are two particular grants that might be eligible. One is an Aid to Firefighters grant that would cover equipment costs. The second is called the SAFER grant, SAFER, and that would cover daytime firemen. So in the recommendations from NC Fire Chiefs Consulting, they both recommended that we consider purchasing standardized equipment for the fire departments, and they also recommended daytime fire service. The FEMA grant is a $648 million pot of money that fire departments may apply for individually, or it's also eligible for a local government to apply. Our local fire departments have traditionally applied for these funds and gotten them. Most of the paid staff, not most of, but some of the paid staff at the volunteer fire departments are paid through that SAFER grant. And I think we even heard that in some of the comments. And we have pushed all of that information out to the fire departments so that they can apply on their own. There are pros and cons to applying. I'm bringing it to you because I didn't want the board to become aware of this funding opportunity and say, manager, you knew we were going to have these expenses coming. Why didn't you apply for this outside funds? But on the flip side of that, I don't want to apply for outside funds in areas to support recommendations that the board might not want to pursue, like daytime county employed firemen or standardized equipment, or set the county up to have outside funds supporting equipment or daytime firemen that the board then doesn't intend to continue thereafter, right? We don't want to create a pattern of setting something up that's not sustainable. So I really just wanted to open that up to the board to get your thoughts on whether or not you'd like me to pursue that application or not.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Can I-
Commissioner Nunley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So you say right now, some of the fire departments they do apply for these funds.
Yes.
My concern would be is if we were applying as a government entity, that would be, and it's in the same region, that it would be seen as a competitive, I guess a competitive and a competing grant application. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that would be the case, but I know a lot of times, that does, hurt the opportunity for local, smaller departments that are maybe not quite, maybe don't have the staff to have as robust of an application to compete with the government authority. So that's where I would, I guess in principle, I'd like more money coming here, but also I don't want to be competing with our departments and our chiefs.
And you would be. It's a finite pot of funds.
Commissioner Huggins?
Well, I was not going to speak about the fire part. So you want to?
Or we'll go back to you. Any comments down there?
Yeah,
Commissioner
Mr.
Brown?
Chairman, thank you. I was concerned about the competitiveness as well. Is there something to be said that we could maybe wait until after this Thursday's meeting and hear what they have to say about that and get their feedback and then go from there?
So the deadline for the grant application is June 22nd.
Okay.
And the board would not meet to direct after that if, so we would miss the deadline if we didn't have the green light tonight. But we could certainly at that meeting encourage all of the individual departments to pursue applications instead of the county this time, and then the county could look at it in a future year.
Do we know if any will be applying? Do we have any idea?
I'm fairly confident that multiple will be applying, and they always have for both their equipment and their
staff costs.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm against it because of it being a reoccurring, if we get it 3 years down the road and we get $250,000 and we pay those, then those firemen belong to us and we have to pick that up or either let them go and they become county employees. And then we also get to where do you put a county employee in a volunteer fire department at? So that would be why I'm against it, sir. I say let the fire departments apply for their own, and if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, that was my concern. I think you said it well. I think that if individual fire department want to apply for this, it's a grant, I think they should do that. I think it's a positive thing.
Okay. So I guess what I'm hearing is there's not any appetite for the county to apply.
Great.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Can we assist with it, with the fire departments if they need
We always
help?
have if they ask, yes. We always push out the information to them, and then any sort of countywide system data that they need, we always support in that regard.
Yeah, because some of the very small ones would need some assistance.
Okay. So do you need anything?
Nope, that's the direction I
Okay.
needed. Thank you
I'll
very
go back
much.
to Commissioner Huggins for her comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to back up to the county attorney and say thank you for an excellent report on our advocacy day. And Mr. Chairman, if I may speak also, we're getting ready to vote on the consent agenda. Just an observation that I would like to bring forth. Tonight we have, I believe, 25 items on the items for consent. The public doesn't have access to these consent agendas, right?
Well, the agenda is available for a member of the public who wants to take a look at it. They can see it.
They can see. And I know the Reflector will report sometime on items that will fall on the consent agenda. And then sometime we have people to come to, to support the item on the consent agenda. And, we don't call on them, we don't recognize them, or anything like that. So I'm just saying maybe we should look at how we could better, inform the public as to, we vote on it as a block,
Right, and typically they're non-controversial.
Yeah,
items.
unless, I know we can pull out one, anytime, but just a suggestion, let's look at it and see if sometime we might want to read some of them or whatever, just an idea.
Okay, Commissioner Manning?
Well, just to follow up on what she was saying, recently I've been on the county website a time or two, and a box keeps popping up every time I switch page. It says the county, because of the WCAG rules, and that you just can't go look at this information. You've got to ask the clerk for that particular board to furnish that to you, is that right?
Yes, so one of the changes we made to become compliant with the new federal rules are that everything on our website has to be ADA accessible. Meaning if it has a picture, it has to have a written description describing that picture, and it has to be in a certain format. Because our agenda packages, if you look, for example, at the planning item, contains oftentimes many pictures, what we've done is we have the agenda itself on the website is available because that's a document that doesn't have any pictures to it. But the actual full agenda packet, we say, because we can't post that anymore, we have people sign up for it. We've had a significant number of folks take advantage of that option, and so that those who are wanting it are getting it emailed directly to them without violating federal law.
So everything except pictures is available?
No, so the entire,
The
full-
entire agenda.
The full agenda package, which has pictures within it, is no longer posted on the county website. A really unintended effect to improve accessibility
Well-
for those with handicap, limiting it for those.
And that's what kind
others.
of tripped me up with it is you're basically denying it access to everybody else because it doesn't meet ADA requirements. You know, because I've wanted to go look at something and I can't do it unless I send a message or whatever. So it sounds like to me it's actually having the reverse effect of what public information is all about.
I agree.
I think we often find state and federal mandates to have unintended consequences. We have invested significant funds in this year's budget to make sure that everything that is on the website remains compliant. And we have not denied any public records to anyone who's seeking them, but it is not as convenient as it was before because we have these compliance
But my
requirements.
final point is, in order to be compliant, it would take a lot of staff time to do all this, which we don't have the staff to do it. So it just seems to be a conundrum that has been created for open records.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Nunley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and this is maybe a question for Matt. But as it relates to compliance with this statute, does it not read that the record has to be requested? And I wonder if, while we can't have a direct link, I wonder if there could be some text on our website that reads, if you click on this link, you are ordering access to the document, and so we don't have to burden our staff with taking orders and sending links. If it can just be the text itself says, hey, by clicking this link, this is what you're ordering, and then it's an immediate automated thing so that whoever requests it gets it immediately. So essentially the same as was before, but just making clear that just like we do every day with technology, when we click on something, we're agreeing to all the fine print. Is there a way to take the fine print for compliance on that and just embed it in the link and just make it all happen so we don't have to have that burden?
I can certainly look into that and get back to the board. I'd need to talk with Kimberly, who's been managing that, and Dawn Jones in PIO, and Matt in legal. to be
Does that
sure.
make sense?
Yeah, so in other words,
we do it over a lot of things.
instead of signing up to receive it and having it emailed to you each month, you're looking at something that says, this is your request, and you get an immediate copy of what you've requested. Through something, yeah, I can pull together Dawn, Kimberly, Matt, and Mike Taylor to talk about how that could work on our system.
So there was the consumer protection thing with regards to canceling subscriptions, right? It has to be as easy to cancel, and so as a result, a lot of entities have that click to cancel, and again, canceling all of the groups. So I don't just think it might be, if we can cut out some administration.
Yeah, no, I think that's a
Yeah.
great idea, and we'll look into it and report back.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Manning, you have no comments?
No, I was agreeing with him.
Okay, got you. Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to items for consent. Do I hear a motion to approve? Okay, got a motion and a second. Please vote. And then, Madam Manager, we have one item for decision.
Yes, and that is an appointment to the Agriculture Advisory Board. It's been recommended that Mr. James Whitehurst be appointed to that board for a term that would expire June 30th, 2029.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second for approval. Please vote. Okay. Yes, you want to do that? You can. Okay. Okay. And we want to introduce Brandon Kraft, new director of the airport. If you would stand up, sir. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you. All right, commissioner comments. I'll start with my right, Commissioner Brown.
I just want to say thank you so much for Matt on giving the legislative update and for us now having that consistency moving forward. I really appreciate it, and advocates and all who was partaking in advocacy days and those that we were able to meet with. And then also just phase two, just so I'm clear, I've had a lot of questions regarding the feasibility study, and I think that just reiterating the fact that that was intentional on being a three-phase study, and we are now moving into phase three, that we did not yet conclude before the budget. And so I think that that was just really important to note, and I'm just really grateful for the process of the feasibility study, and looking forward to that on the 18th and the 30th. Other than that, I think that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Perkins-Williams?
Happy Father's Day to everybody who's a father.
Thank you. Commissioner? Commissioner Manning?
No comment, sir.
Commissioner Nunley? Commissioner Huggins? Commissioner McGlohorn?
No
Man, a lot of no comments. All right, we have a closed session. Do I hear a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
All right, got a motion and a second.
If I may read the
Matt,
grounds.
please.
Thank you. It's been suggested this body go into closed session under the following grounds. One, to establish or instruct the public body staff on the position to be taken by the public body on price or other material terms concerning the acquisition of property under North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 11A5. Two, to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve attorney-client privilege under North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 11A3, which privilege is hereby acknowledged. And three, to prevent the disclosure of information that is not considered a public record under North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 10. And now if we could have that motion.
Thank you. We've got a motion and a second. Please vote. Okay.
We're ready.
Okay, welcome back. We are in open session.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the closed session minutes from June 1st.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please vote. Okay, thank you.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? Please vote. Okay, thank you all.